I have a question. How many of you have said, I just don't have enough time to get everything done that I need to? I've said it. I hear it all the time on coaching calls. It's probably one of the biggest challenges that owners face. There's just too many things that need to get done in any given day. The challenge is, it's not about time. It's not even about time management. It's about focus and energy. Here's the difference. Time is about productivity. Focus and energy is about impact. And impact, well, that's where the money's made when you're an owner of the business. The frustrating thing is, what do I decide about what's important? There's so many things coming at me at any time. I've got disruptions. People are asking me to do this, make that decision. Our biggest challenge is deciding what's important. We have several things that are working against us that we have to find a way to overcome. The first is that because we're social animals, we determine what to focus on or what is important based on the societal impacts. So given an owner in any company, your staff is coming to you with questions. Well, that's a social thing. So you disrupt yourself or you disrupt what you're doing, and then you focus on them. Somebody comes to you while you're trying to work on a big project, and they ask you to make a decision. Well, that reflects on you and whether or not you're attentive to the needs of your employees, and so you stop, focus your time on them, and then you try and come back to what you were working on. All of those disruptions have a cost. Next, we have what's called the default mode. That's our autopilot. It's actually a neural network in our brain that leads us to follow the typical patterns that we do on any given day. So if your habitual pattern at work is to be a firefighter, meaning that you're solving everyone's problems, well, guess what? Your brain's going to tell you, go firefight. If you're the decision maker and you make all the decisions on a daily basis and people are coming to you waiting for a decision, guess what again? You're going to be making all those decisions. That's our default mode. It's what we typically, it's really just what the patterns that we fall into as we go throughout our day. There's a third thing that we have to fight against, and that's decision fatigue. And here's the problem. When we're suffering from decision fatigue, we fall back into what is easiest for us, and that's our default mode, or that autopilot. We get decision fatigue from making lots of little decisions, a lot of times not of very big importance, or from context switching. You and I typically hear that as multitasking. The reality is, every time that we switch, it sucks up cognitive energy, which contributes to decision fatigue. Anytime somebody interrupts us, decision fatigue. Anytime we stop to answer a ping of a text message or to look at an email that just popped up, yep, decision fatigue. So one of the things that we have to do is figure out, how do we disrupt all of these obstacles that we have to having really good focused energy, focused on the right things that really have the impact in the business. First hack that you can do is to change your environment. If you're used to working in an office, at the clinic or at your business, and that's where people come to you and ask questions, that's where your disruptions are, it's even your email and Slack, then change your location. Go someplace else. Go where you can set boundaries and hold them, maybe where it's quiet, maybe it's home, maybe it's at a coffee shop. That's changing your environment. That's going to help you disrupt that autopilot, because by going someplace else, it signals to your brain and to your body, hey, this is different, and different is good. Another thing you can do, shut your email down, turn your phone off. Again, that's a changing your environment tactic, and it helps your brain realize, wait a minute, something's different here. Why am I in someplace else? There must be something else important going on. And that's the moment when you can choose to focus on what's really important. The next thing is, before anything happens at the beginning of the day, before you check your phone, before you start spending that energy on something that's not important, decide what is most important today. If I get nothing else done, what do I have to accomplish for this day to be a success? Because when you anchor that in your brain, anytime that you have that disruption that says, wait, pay attention, something's different, it goes back to that, here's what I got to get done today. And so again, you are able to choose something different, a different decision that is an alternative to your autopilot or what your autopilot tells you, and you can focus your energy. The last thing is to ask 2 questions. What happens if I say no? What happens if I say no to making certain decisions, talking to certain people? What if I say no to being in the office? Is there anything catastrophic that's going to happen? What negative outcome could there be? And then ask yourself, okay, what is the impact? What is the ROI if I focus my energy on this key thing that I have decided at the beginning of the day that I need to get done? Oftentimes what you're going to find out is that people will wait until you get back. They'll solve the problem themselves. That email's going to wait, so will that text message. And then you look at what it is that you were choosing between, and you realize that if I get maybe that referral source called, that partnership agreement worked on, that recruiting call done, it has a huge ROI. So that anchors the importance in your brain of whatever that issue is, and so it's a draw towards focusing your energy on that. And remember, in the beginning I said it's not about time management, it's about focus and energy. Where do you focus? Where do you put energy? And the last thing is, I bet you know what time of day or what span of time throughout your day you have high peak or high energy peak moments. That's when you need to focus those most strategic things. If that's between 11 and 12, right before lunch, don't go through your emails. Don't process payroll. Focus for that hour on what is critically important to your business that you get done. Because your employees, that's about productivity. They're trying to get whatever their assignments are throughout the day done and checked off. For you, there will always be something to do. So you have to choose what is most important, what moves the needle, what's going to grow your business, what's going to allow you to hire that next key employee. Whatever it is, make sure that you look at your focus and your energy like capital. How do you invest it? Are you investing wisely or are you squandering it?